Welcome, Kim. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
So, talk a little bit about your entrepreneurship journey so far. Talk a bit about starting Root Awakening and also Tasteful Gatherings.
It's been challenging and some twists along the way for sure. I started out actually a long time ago doing respite and working in the healthcare industry.
Okay.
And I never thought in a million years that I'd be a farm owner and have a food establishment service.
Yep.
And so I was actually going to go to college and do the LPN program, but I got accepted, and then I decided otherwise. I said I needed a change. So I decided to take a break, and I heard about this restaurant in Grossmoran called Java Jack's, and they were a fine dining gourmet, and I've always loved to cook, but never ever thought that it would be, it wasn't reachable to me, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I started there as a waitress and became really close with the owner. She's a food scientist, red seal chef. Her name is Colleen Hiscock. Actually, she's been my biggest inspiration through all this.
That's awesome.
So she took me under her wing, and we went and she had what was called Supper Club. So I was her sous chef / server, and it was kind of sort of the same idea as Tasteful Gatherings, but it was at her B&B. And we just take in, 10 people, and we would do fine dining experience in that house.
Right on.
So, so then I ended up cooking there, and but it's only seasonal. So because I was planning on going back to school.
Yep. So
I decided that I was going to go and see what they had to offer. And this agriculture technician just really caught my attention, and I already dabbled in farming, a little bit of gardening. So I said, I'm going to try this. I'm going to do it. I love to cook. So why not expand it and actually grow some food?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Let's get right to it, right?
Yeah.
So I went to school, and I learned so much because I had no idea how to grow anything. I can't even keep a houseplant alive. Still can't.
Me and you both on that.
But I can, grow a full garden. So it's is exciting. So at the end of the summer, I decided to start the Tasteful Gatherings. I wanted to expand and eventually be a farm-to-table restaurant sort of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a growing industry right now, too. People like having or knowing where their food actually comes from, and being able to see that and see the process, right? So it's a growing industry for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, and even on the West Coast, which leads into the next question. Of course, you're in Western Newfoundland. What are some of the challenges you faced, and what are some of the opportunities that it also presented?
I tried to get funding, and I was denied. So, which means that, and then I tried to avail of the Equipment Bank in Pinsbrook with the government, and that failed. So there was lots of obstacles because I wanted to build a greenhouse, but it wasn't big enough for commercial use. So, having to dip in my own pocket and still having to work full time provided a huge challenge for me because I was trying to establish a farm and work full time and also promote my business. So I couldn't really engage a lot with the community. And it was constant, just work. It was like 8 days a week.
Yeah, 24 hours, 8 days a week.
Yeah, it was hard, very hard, very risky.
Yep.
Because you're, putting your own money into it, and the money doesn't come back right away. It takes a long time to establish a business, no matter what the business is.
That's right. Yeah, and like you said, it becomes even more and more real once you put your own money into the business. Hey.
Oh my goodness, yeah, and then you just want to, grow faster, and you feel, when it's not your own money.
Yeah.
That you're playing with is not so bad. It doesn't matter if you fail, but you really want to succeed when you sink your own money into it.
Yeah, for sure. And you talked about the time management piece there a little bit. Managing two businesses, and like you said, you were working full time at the time. How did you manage all that?
I just kept my head down and just kept working, and having a support from, my husband works away, so every time he'd come home, he'd have his fingers in the dirt as well. And
Yeah.
he's an engineer, so it's a little bit different for him.
For sure.
So yeah, he'd come home and help, and just lots of support from family. Like it's difficult. It's still difficult.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah, having that.
I have to love it in order to be able to appreciate it and to continue with it.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of backbreaking.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, a lot of the work is kind of in the background of things, and a lot of people don't see that work that entrepreneurs put in. So,
no, success is just a small portion.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, talking to a lot of the entrepreneurs that we have on the show, having that, family connection and help throughout the process is usually the deal breaker in a lot of the businesses, right? Having that support network is so important.
It is. And the business is still small and growing and just getting off the ground. So hopefully in the future, I'll be able to hire somebody.
Yeah.
And not have to work myself full time.
There you go.
For myself right now at this point would be very rewarding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about that. So switching gears a tiny bit, talking about community engagement, both your businesses seem really deeply rooted in the community, no pun intended. Can you talk about how you engage with the local community and what it really means to you?
Social media is huge.
Mm-hmm.
With the Facebook page and that. And I attend markets and festivals and just try to engage with the local farmers and even the community itself, looking for advice and just talking about things and getting, saying that I have a farm, and, people become interested, and you get into the other part of it with the cooking side of it, and, people are interested.
Yeah.
And farming is a community in itself, really. And at the end of the day, if you want respect and be successful, you have to share common interests, goals, and have the same attitude, or otherwise it could result in failure.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That's it's so important to connect with your community, and like you said, social media makes that a bit easier these days. And it's so important to connect with that community out there. You talked about, the different farms and the greenhouses and things like that, and also the restaurant portion. So what's kind of your plan going forward there?
I'd like to have a farm to table restaurant is my ultimate goal.
Yep.
And having some accommodations and doing and also providing like a B&B for someone to be able, for whoever comes in to stay there, to our guests to be able to experience that as well.
Yeah.
And I want to get into some goats as well to make some goat cheese. So
very nice, very nice.
That's not anywhere near in the future. I'm saying it's not, but who knows? We can make it work somehow.
There you go.
But I want to get into that eventually.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It sounds really exciting, and it's always nice not knowing, knowing, but looking forward to expanding and seeing what's on the horizon. So we always, no, that's great.
I wanted animals, but I have 42 hens. So.
Oh wow!
And I sell eggs, so I'm just, and I love it. I was like, I'm never getting any animals, and when I got them, I fell in love.
That's awesome. So I could definitely see that expanding.
Oh yeah, it's going to expand.
Yeah,
this spring actually.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So next one is all about business success. So we always like to touch on this one, talking about a moment that kind of stands out from when you started, or something that makes you look back and kind of put a smile on your face. So what's that successful moment for you?
I guess going back to school, it started all of that.
Yep.
Because I never ever thought it was possible. But being recognized by the transplant program from the government, like as soon as I had that that email saying that I was approved for transplants.
Yeah.
And then I knew I was recognized, and it was so exciting. I can't even tell you how exciting. For some people, it might be just a tiny thing, but for someone just starting out, it was. It just brought recognition to the farm.
Yeah. No, that's great. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the program?
So what it is, it's so if you have a registered farm with the government,
Yeah.
you can apply for. They have lots of varieties of transplants. So they grow them, nurse them, do it all, and then when they're ready for pickup, they'll give you a call, and you go in and pick them up, and it's like 2 cents a transplant.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and for they have asparagus as well, which is 5 cents a pod. So everything is already started for you. So if you don't have a greenhouse or you don't have space,
yeah,
this is a beautiful program. And it's available when planting season starts.
Oh wow, perfect timing.
They started in Dale,
yeah,
in outside of Bishop Falls. It's agriculture research station, government funded.
Yeah.
And and they ship it to Pinsbrook, the location there, and you just pick it up.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, no, that seems like a great program to avail of, especially, like you said, if you're just starting out or something like that. Yeah, it seems like some good government support there.
Because there's a lot of cost with even, you have to buy the grow lights and trays to put them in, the seed, the soil, the fertilizer, and then taking care of it. It's a lot of work that covers a lot for you.
Yeah, and you never know if they're going to grow and stuff too, right? So, I mean, it's nice to have that security. So, that sounds like a great program.
The transplants are beautiful when they come. So, very impressive.
Unreal. Oh, that's fantastic. So, I guess it's kind of leading into the next question about advice. Probably if someone's looking to start a farm, then apply to that program. But what other advice would you give an aspiring entrepreneur?
Have a business plan. Very important, and try to have a little bit of money to back you up.
Yep.
Because it's very difficult. It's very difficult, and it's hard work. So perseverance. You have to even working while you're working.
Yeah.
You have to work a job, and you can't be afraid of it.
Yeah.
Because you have to in order to be able to provide for your family, and as long as you're doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
It's and you got to be passionate about it.
Yep.
If you you literally reap what you sow. It's directly related to your efforts.
Mm-hmm.
What you put in is what you're going to get back.
Yep, for sure. And that's what we hear a lot on the show as well. Is you got to put in the effort and you got to be passionate about it.
You do. I worked all summer full time and trying to do the farm, and my produce could have been a little better than what it was, and I could have got a little better outcome. But by working, I found it kind of threw me back a bit, and then having children, and so it was hard. But you learn some tips along the way how to do it better next time. Yeah,
exactly. It's all a balancing act.
That's right, and I'm still learning, always learning.
Exactly. That's something everyone could take away, I think.
Yes, always be open to learning because you're never too old to learn.
Exactly.
You never know what to learn.
Yeah, that's so true. So true. Yeah. So again, thanks for coming on the podcast here. Really nice to hear from one of our ag tech alumni. First one on the show, so it's very nice. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So just closing it up here, do you want to share your social media tags, anything like that, so people know where to find you?
Yes. I only have a Facebook page right now, but I'm in the process of doing a website.
Right on.
But it's Root Awakening on Facebook and Tasteful Gatherings as well on Facebook.
Perfect. Well, thanks again for coming on, Kim. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, of course. Let's review some pointers for my chat with Kim. Number 1, apply to the transplant program. Kim raved about the Provincial Vegetable Transplant Program. The program provides farmers with high-quality vegetable transplants for mere cents. In Kim's experience, around 2 cents per transplant. The program was a huge help. Not only did it save on upfront costs and reduce risk, it also brought recognition to her business. Number 2, have a business plan. It takes a lot of time to establish a business. To see a return on your initial investment, sometimes you have to play the long game. Your business plan acts as your roadmap, preparing you for the opportunities and challenges ahead. And it can also help you attract financial investments via loans, grants, and investors too. For help with business plans, check out service providers like Futurepreneur, CBDC, Enlo, and others. Number 3, reap what you sow. You've heard it from our guests before. Entrepreneurship isn't easy. To Kim, it takes perseverance, and she tells us you have to appreciate what it is you do and put in the effort to make it work. So, don't go it alone. CNA's Entrepreneurship Hub is here to support you with free services that we can connect you with other providers and resources as well. Check us out at cna.nl.ca/entrepreneurship. Thanks for listening.